Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining today, everybody. We're just gonna ease in today. After an absolutely psychotic day yesterday for this country, I'm really just going to encourage people. Yeah, I know. Yeah, just when you think it can't get any more insane. So I just really want to strongly encourage people today to really go easy on themselves. We're going to do a lot of stuff in the beginning to help settle and calm the nervous system. If any of you have friends or family in DC, I'm sending good prayers, good vibes to them, and hoping everybody is staying safe out there because things are wild. So just take it easy today. Listen to your body. Feel free to use some of these as always, but especially today and maybe for the next couple of weeks. Feel free to use any of these calming nervous system things in the mornings throughout your day. These are really good ways to help ground yourself, to help calm the nervous system, to help slow your breath down, decrease your heart rate, all of that good stuff. So these are good techniques. Okay. So we'll come to, so we're going to do a nice long warm up for today. All right, so we'll come to a seated or standing grounding position of some sort. And let's just kind of get into the body a little bit more. So I'm just going to have you roll your shoulders. You could wiggle your ribs. I'm just wiggling any part of your body. You can shake your legs if you're standing. You can roll your neck around, and you're just noticing how everything is feeling. Okay. We'll come to a still place. We'll close the eyes. And we're going to start with the breath. And we're going to take this a little bit longer and slower than we do today. So I'm going to have you put one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. If it's easier for you to open your eyes, you can leave your eyes open. Otherwise, eyes will be closed. So I want you to take an inhale, trying to inhale into your low belly hand. And then I want you to hold your breath 2 to 3 seconds, if that's accessible for you. And then I want you to find an exhale all the way to the end of your breath. You can use your mouth or your nose. I'm not going to be picky here for your exhale, but bringing that exhale all the way to the end. You're going to pause for 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds at the end, and then you're going to inhale in through your nose. Okay, so we'll do this together. You're inhaling, pausing for a couple seconds, holding your breath, and then find a long exhale all the way out. Feel that belly hand sink in. Pause for a couple seconds, and then breathe in. Pause, hold the breath, and then exhale. Pause, hold the breath, and then inhale. We're going to do that a couple more times. Pause, hold the breath. Exhale. Pause, hold the breath, and then inhale. One more cycle through. Pause, hold the breath, and exhale. Pause, hold the breath, and inhale. Okay, good. Go ahead and resume back to normal breathing. We'll keep the eyes closed if you're able to. And then I just want you to give your head a few head circles. How is the neck feeling for you today? Give the shoulders a few shoulder circle rolls. How are the shoulders feeling today? Start to move your spine. It could be a wiggle. It could be a side to side movement. How's your spine feeling today? Your upper back, your mid back, your low back. If you're able to move or shake your legs, how are your legs feeling today? How are your feet feeling today? And how are your hands feeling today? Come back to a still point. Just finding your breath again. Go ahead and set your intention for class today. Could be as general or specific as you'd like. We'll take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Alrighty. Good. So let's give the arms a big shake. We were doing this on Tuesday, like you're really trying to get water off of your arms. And if you're standing, giving your legs a good shake. All the way through the wrists and the fingers. Okay. And then we'll bring fingertips to that area just under the collarbones and finding a tapping under that area on both sides of the chest. We're going to add a hum as you do this one. Again, just another trick to help calm the nervous system. It's connected to something called our vagus nerve. It helps activate that nerve, which helps calm the nervous system. So just trying to do this through your nose, you're going to inhale, and then on your exhale, you're going to find a hum. When you get all the way to the end of the hum, inhale, and just do 2 more hums. You can start tapping down the sides of the ribs if that feels good for you. You can even tap the belly. You might be getting near your last hum. And when you're done with that last hum, we're going to take the hands and find our clockwise circle, giving our belly a belly rub. If you're able to start to press into your belly, so you can do a nice light rub, kind of surface level, or you can really start to push the heel of your palm or even the tips of your fingers into your belly more as you do this, just looking for a tender or a soft spot, maybe pausing and breathing in if you find that tender or soft spot. So it's a really good way. This direction helps with digestion, and it also just gets our organs moving. And I'm going to have you bring knuckles to your low back. And you're just going to give a little rub or scratch with your fingers or your knuckles, whatever is accessible for you. If it's hard for you to reach your low back, you can give your side belly a rub. Okay. Otherwise, just kind of stay on your low back. Waken the kidneys up. They can be fast circles. They can be slow circles. You can press and breathe into one of your fists or your knuckles. And then we'll set your hands, knuckles or hands, right at the base of your ribs. If you can, if this is there for you, I want your thumbs in your back, pressing into your back right at the base of your ribs. So kind of right in your mid-back. And then you're just going to outline your ribs, pulling your fingers or your knuckles all the way to the top. So we're basically just tracing our ribs all the way from the back to the front connection. Try to just breathe through your nose as we do this one. Yeah, I see a question in the chat box. I'll answer at the end of class, no worries. Good, so just outlining that bottom base of the ribs, noticing if one side is maybe stickier than the other side. And then we're going to do the same thing over your hips. So using knuckles or your fingers, starting with your thumbs, tracing from the very back part of your hips, and then all the way to the front. And that kind of drops down into the pubic bone, but just ending maybe a couple inches below your belly button is a good place to finish that outlining of the hips. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do a couple more like that. And last one. Okay, good. Shake the arms out. Yep. And then using, again, knuckles or hand, I'm going to have you squeeze or rub your forearm with your knuckles. So if you're using your hand, if you can grab your forearm, you're going to do a twisting corkscrew movement from the wrist to the elbow. And as you're doing this, I want you to notice where you feel the bones. You might feel a bone on the pinky side. You might feel that bone on the thumb side of your hand. And if you're using your knuckles, you're just going to be rubbing from your wrist up towards your elbow. Yeah. Tracing the outline of our bones is good educationally because it can sometimes help you realize, oh, wow, I have a bone here. This is where it starts. This is where it ends. But again, it's just another way to calm the nervous system. We're giving the tissues compression, and tissues love compression. Okay, good. And then go ahead and do the other side. So finding the corkscrew, going up to the elbow, or dragging the knuckles or the edge of the hand up towards the elbow. Yeah, if you're feeling pain or discomfort while doing this, discomfort is normal, especially if you find yourself on the computer all day. This is a really good way to take a computer break. This is quite sore for me, to be honest. Discomfort is okay. Pain, I would maybe back off a little bit. Don't press quite as hard. But it might feel for you like the muscles are experiencing something new, to put it nicely. Okay, and then actually I'll stay close into the camera, and then we'll give the hands a rub. Hands or knuckles, however much you can open your hands, getting the backs of your hands. Yeah, and then if you can, either grabbing each finger or using your knuckles, I want you to twist each finger as if you were twisting a bottle cap. Just do maybe 5 or 6 twists on each finger and then move on to the next one. If you're using your knuckles, I want you to focus. So if you're rubbing your tips out, I want you to focus right on the fingertips if you're unable to grasp your finger. Okay, so just a modification there. The reason I'm having you rub the fingertips is we have a lot of meridians that start and end in our hands and in our feet. So waking them up either with a bone twist or with the tip of the finger rub. Again, it helps settle the nervous system. It helps wake the body up. It helps balance the energy meridians going through your body. And then we're going to move down. We're going to do the same thing with your feet. So you have a couple of options here. You can either do that same bone twist we just did with your fingers. You can do that with your feet and your toes, doing 5 or 6 twists on each toe. If that's not super accessible for you, you can be doing a knuckle rub just like we did with the forearm, but on the calf, working your way from the ankle up to the knee. If that's not accessible for you, if maybe that's a little bit too low to reach, you're going to be working from the knee up to the hip and just giving all sides of your thigh or your calf a rub going up. And again, as a reminder, we do this going up because we're trying to push some of the stagnant blood, fluids, and lymph back up towards the heart. They call your calves your second heart for people who are ambulatory, because the calves help pump the fluids back up. But we can do this manually with our hands like we are right now. So we're basically just creating that pump to get some of that stagnation. You might even have some swelling in your ankles to push that back up towards the core of the body. Okay, good. Go and relax. And I'm just going to have you sit with that for a second. You can close it. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't do the other side. I cheated. Hang on. Go to the other side because I was doing the other side there. Go to the other side if you haven't already. Notice if one foot or one calf feels tighter, feels more painful, feels more restricted than the other side. That information is really useful information. Maybe you spend a little extra time on that side. Okay, couple more rubs, squeezes, and then we'll come back to a seated or standing position. And then go ahead and just reassess. How is your body feeling right now? Upper body, lower body? Just sitting with that for a sec, okay? And then we're gonna bring hands or knuckles to the back of the neck. I'm gonna take these off for a second. Okay, so hands on the back of the neck, looking down at the belly button. As you drag your hands forward, I'm gonna have, oops, sorry, I think I just hit the mic. I'm gonna have you look up at the ceiling. Your hands are gonna drag all the way to the base of your neck, right at your collarbones. Grab the back of your neck, look down, drag the hands down as you look up. Grab the back of your neck, look down, drag and look up. Yep, just do one more like that. Grab, look down, drag, look up. Okay, hold this last one. Pulling that skin down. So keep your head looking up, slide your lower jaw forward. Hold it. And then release and shake everything out. Okay, good. Let's just finish with a really quick body tap here. So I'll have you tap going down the outside of the arm and then coming up the inside of the arm. Let's maybe do 3. Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. Let's do 3 on each arm. Just moving at your own pace. Remember, it could be a grab, a squeeze, a karate chop. Go ahead and switch sides once you've done 3 on that side. And then once you've done that, we're going to move right to the legs. Same idea, working down the outside of the legs and up the inside of the legs. You can use knuckles. You're just trying to find a sensory input to your body that feels good. No wrong way to do this. Okay. Once you've done 3 times through the legs, make sure you get the top of the legs. All right. Hopefully our bodies are feeling a little bit more awake, more alive. Let's start coming into the joints here. So I'm gonna have you, so elbows, stay seated. Elbows are gonna be at shoulder height. And I just want you to find a circling with the hands around the elbows, but keep the hands above the elbows. So try not to circle the hands down yet. We're just gonna take this. We're working more on shoulder external rotation as we find this elbow circle. Yep. And then I want you to turn your hands more down as if you were stirring a really big pot with each hand. This is more shoulder internal rotation. Doesn't matter which direction you're going, just circling around. Okay, good. We're bring that into a bigger movement, being this butterfly stroke. So hands come behind you, up and forward. I want you to round your spine here and then pull your arms back as you lift the chest. Inhale to circle the arms up and forward. Exhale to pull back. Inhale up and forward. Exhale, pull back. Inhale to lift the spine. Exhale to flex the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, flex. And can we move a little bit quicker? And I want you to think of initiating this movement from the spine as opposed to from the shoulders. So really like you're doing this butterfly or dolphin movement with your spine, which then moves your shoulders. Like you've got this big wave coming up, up, up your spine. Do 2 more. And last one. Okay, good. And down. Awesome. Let's come to the wrists. Just finding a few wrist circles. If you're able to open and spread the fingers, go ahead and open and spread. For my standing athletes, let's find some ankle circles for you. Switch directions and or switch feet. Yep. Okay, good. And then hands are going to be on the knees. Yeah, let's keep hands on the knees for this one. And I'm just going to have you find that rib translation side to side. I'm going to layer on with this one. So remember, ribs and shoulders stay parallel to the floor as you glide the ribs forward and back. This might be a really small movement for some of you. Remember, we're not side bending, but translating. Just a lateral glide of the ribs. There we go. Yeah, that looks good, everyone. Nice. Okay, so now as you start to do this, so let's translate our ribs to the left. And then I want you to see if you can lift your right butt cheek off of your seat, almost as if you just sat in gum under that right butt cheek, and then place that butt cheek down. Translate to the right, lift the left butt cheek like you just sat in gum, and then down. Translate, lift that butt cheek, and down. Translate, lift that butt cheek, and down. Yeah, and just keep moving side to side with this. Really trying to lift as much of that butt cheek out of the gum. If that's not super accessible and that's not there for you, you're just going to stay with that translation, but I want you thinking about lifting that butt. So you're just trying, what we're trying to do is activate the low back here to lift the butt cheek. If we want to make it harder, we can bring our arms out to the side in a big T position, almost like we're really reaching for something to one side and really reaching for something to the other side. And if you're standing, you're just going to be finding, a leg balance on each side. So single leg, you can even bring that into a march if you want to bring that into a march with your glide. Good, just do a couple more there. And then we'll bring hands either behind the head if you're able to, or across in front of your chest if that's more accessible. You're going to look up at the ceiling, open the chest, think of opening the elbows, and then you're going to round down, try to touch your elbows to the center of your thigh. Realistically, my elbows are closer to my knee, but you're just trying to get as rounded as you can. And then inhale, open, lift everything up towards the sky. Yep. Exhale, close, try to touch your elbows to your knees. And if you're standing, same thing, try to touch your elbows to your knees. And then inhale to open. So really using your abdominals to actively find that flexion through your spine. Remember, we don't let gravity do the work for us. So whenever we're doing these roll down positions, we're making it really active by trying to round the spine, curl, using the abdominals to get into that position. Do 3 more. Exhale down. Inhale up. Yep. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale down. And inhale up. And release the hands. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to have you start. You're going to grab your pencils. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about what equipment you needed today. So equipment, same that we've been using, a letter ball of some sort. If you don't have a letter ball, remember a rag with like some interesting letters or an interesting pattern to look at, works also, or rolled up pair of socks. And then 2 pencils or two cooking utensils. You can even use your thumbs if that's easier. Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Yeah, you all know what you're doing. Okay, so go ahead and grab your 2 pencils. Okay. I'm going to walk you, for folks that are able to see, I'm going to walk you through this. And then for folks that are blind or visually impaired, just bear with me and I'll give you a different variation here. So for those of you holding the 2 pencils, I want you to hold them out at maybe a 45-degree angle from your body. Yep, that's great. Okay, and I want you to jump your eyes from one pencil to the next, side to side. Just your eyes are moving, your head stays really still. If you need to narrow your pencils so that your head doesn't move, you can do that. Otherwise, we'll stay at that 45-degree angle. I'm gonna have you do 30 jumps, left, right is 1, 30 jumps side to side, 30 jumps up, down, 30 jumps at one diagonal, 30 jumps at the other diagonal, okay? So move through that at your own pace, okay? So keep doing that. For folks that are blind or visually impaired, I'm gonna bring you a little bit more into the vestibular system, but I want you to start, let's see. Yeah, actually, let's do VOR for that. So folks are blind and are visually impaired. So we're gonna, hands can just be crossed over the chest. And you're gonna be moving your head quickly from side to side. So left, right, quickly back and forth. I want you to do maybe the same number, but 20 to 30. But if you get dizzy, back off. Maybe you get dizzy at 5, maybe you get dizzy at 40. So just kind of find a happy medium there. You're gonna be doing the same thing, head movements side to side, head movements up, down, head movements on one diagonal, maybe upright to down left, and then head movements on the other diagonal. Okay, so I'm just gonna have people move through this one at your own pace, whether you're doing the head movements or the eye movements. And when you're done, just set the, yeah, people are still going, that's great. Just set the pencils down so I know you're done. We're gonna do some body check-ins after this. I know we didn't start the class with a body check-in, but we'll do some range of motion here. So the point of these exercises, for those of you that are moving your eyes, is to warm up the eyes. So where the eyes don't go, the body isn't gonna go. If your eyes have a hard time looking up in the sockets, it's most likely gonna be challenging for you and your spine to find length and extension. Likewise, if maybe your eyes have a hard time going to the right, it might be challenging for you to rotate to the right. So when we warm up the eyes, the body usually follows, and it can improve a handful of things, as well as pain, discomfort, things like that. Okay, yeah, and I see people are getting close to being done here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do a range check. So we'll do a few overhead arm raises. And you're just noticing range of motion, speed of motion, maybe the difference between the right and the left. Yeah, just do a couple more. Good. And we'll find some shoulder external internal rotation. So finding goalposts, arms, moving the hands up and down around the elbows. Yeah. And you're just checking that there. Good. Let's do some cervical movements. So rotating just the head to the left. How far do you get? How does it feel? And then to the right. Does tightness kick in at any point? Do you feel like you get stuck at any point? Good. And then head back to the center. And then tilting the head left and right. Just as a reminder, for all of these rotational movements, if you have hardware or instability in your neck or in your thoracic vertebra, then you might want to skip these ones, or you might want to do these movements from the part of your spine where you don't have hardware and or instability. Okay, hands come out in front of you, palms touching each other or arms crossed over the chest. Go ahead and take a rotation to the left with your whole spine, and then a rotation to the right. And just noticing anything there. For my standing athletes, you can be doing sit to stands. You could be doing a single leg balance. You could be doing a hip hinge or even a lunge, which challenges balance and your hip strength. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Okay, I'm gonna have you grab your letter ball next. For those of you that have been playing letter ball with me for a while, I'm just gonna have you go right into this one. For those of you that haven't, maybe this is your first time, I'm gonna walk you through and just explain this one here. So you're holding the ball into your chest. You move the ball away from your body, any angle you want. Quickly look at the ball, say the first letter or number that you see. I see a J, and then I pull it back into my chest. Move the ball away at a different angle from your body. Say the first letter or number that you see, E, and then I bring it back in. And you're just gonna continue on with that one, C, moving it at all angles around you. So in a 360-degree move around you, you're moving that ball in front of you, maybe even behind you, down by the ground, up above your head. If you're able to, you can play catch with yourself. So same game, stopping it right where you catch it, whether that's overhead or down towards the ground, and then reading the first letter number that you see. If you've got a wall next to you, you can throw it against the wall. You can play with a partner. You can even bounce it on the ground, making it hard for yourself. Yeah. So I just want you to move through that. I'm just gonna watch folks here for a second. Yeah, there we go. Most of the places people ignore is bringing the ball somewhere overhead. So just making sure that you're getting that space, and each time you lift it overhead, you're reading that. There you go, nice, nice. That looks great, everybody. Just do a couple more here. And then go ahead and relax. Okay, we're gonna bring some brain speed games into this one. So same game you're playing, but every time you see, let me just make sure I'm gonna say this right. Every time you see a number, I want you to lift the left side of your body. Actually, let's do this. I'm gonna change it. When you see a number, you're gonna turn your head to the left. A quick head turn to the left, and then back to the center. Yeah. Every time you catch a number, a letter, you're gonna turn your head to the right, okay? Number, turn your head left. Letter, turn your head right. Number, left. Letter, right. Okay, go for it. So playing the same game, and you're just adding a head turn. Adding a head turn can be really interesting with this because we're making it a quick movement with your head. This is actually bringing your vestibular system into this a little bit more. So if you find that you start to get dizzy, maybe back off, take a break, close your eyes. And trying to make that head turn quick. If your neck is can take that, it's just a quick turn. Like you're just quickly looking to someone, quickly called your name, and then you bring your head right back to the center. Again, just so that we're testing the vestibular system a little bit more in between each throw. We call these brain speed games because your brain, the role of your brain does three things. It sees something or it senses something. It has to make a decision, and then it has to act on it. It has to make a movement to act on it. So we're just testing the speed of your brain. by playing this game. Yeah. Do maybe 5 more throws or so. And when you've done those 5 throws, we can put the ball down and relax. Okay. So taking, let's see, do I want you to do pencils for this one? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and grab your pencils one more time here. Okay. Good. So we're going to bring pencils out to the side in a T. Yeah, we're all going to be doing the same one for this. So I want you to turn your head to look at the left pencil, turn your head to look at the right pencil, turn left, turn right. Okay. So now I want you to look at the left pencil. You're going to look at the wall past that left pencil. We're doing something called near far work. So you look at the tip of the pencil to the wall, tip of the pencil to the wall, tip of the pencil to the wall. One more time, tip of the pencil to the wall, and then turn your head and switch pencils. Near far, near far, near far, near far. Turn your head, switch pencils. So it's near far 4 times. Near far, near far, near far, near far, and switch. And you're trying to do that as quick as you can. Noticing, yeah, and if it's more realistic, if turning your head all the way to one side is kind of a lot, you can narrow the pencils in front of you, depending on neck mobility and all of that. And then I always forget to say this, but if you can take your glasses off and still see clearly, then take your glasses off. If things get blurry when you take your glasses off, especially when you're looking far, then keep the glasses on. That varies person to person. For example, I have contacts in, but I can't take my contacts out, so I just do it with my contacts in. Yeah. Maybe do 2 more times on each side. And you're just noticing how long it takes. Does it take your eyes a few seconds to adjust to each movement that you're asking your eyes to do? Is it harder on one side than the other, or is it just hard in general? Yeah, maybe harder on one side. Yeah, so actually let's do this. If it was harder for you on one side, do an extra 5 sets of those. If you don't know what side was harder, then just continue to go back and forth. Yeah, that's interesting. It looks like most people have a harder side. Okay, great. When you've done those 5 extra sets or so, go ahead and relax. Good. Let's just help reset the system here. We'll bring arms up overhead. We can interlace the fingers if you're able to. Taking a nice articulating roll forward. Remember, make your abdominals do the work here. Don't let gravity do the work for you. Come all the way down. Just take a few breaths into the ribs at the bottom. And on your next exhale, we'll slowly roll ourselves back up. Arms are overhead. And then bringing the arms all the way back down. Really good. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more vestibular work here. We're just going to come right into spins. So again, we'll all stay together on this one. If you're in a chair, power or manual, where you can easily spin yourself quickly around, then that's the one you're going to be doing. If you're standing, you're going to be doing standing circles. And if that's not there for you either, we're going to cross arms over the chest. You have 2 options here. For those of you with the neck mobility to do this, you're going to be moving just from your head. So kind of like you're at a rock concert and your head is rolling around in a big circle, letting your eyes go with you. If the neck feels unstable and or you have hardware in there, it's going to be a movement more coming from your whole body. So your whole body is drawing a circle basically around your hips, leaning left, right, forward, and back. Okay, so whatever makes more sense for you, whether that's just the neck circling or the whole body circling, I just want your eyes to be moving in a big circle, big and or fast circle. Remember to do an even number of circles in each direction, maybe in the 3 to 6 range, and then pause when you've done those. Go for it. Mm-hmm. Remember, if you get dizzy, that's okay. It just means that you've met your edge. You can close your eyes, you can grab some water, you can take a break. Yeah. If you start to get nauseous, again, that's okay. It just means that you've met your edge, and then we want to back off and take a break. Yeah, I see some spinny chairs. That's great. The spinny chairs are good for this one too. Yeah. Okay, so 3 to 6-ish. If you can do more than 6 in each direction, go for it. I want you to track which direction for your head or for your body is harder to circle in. And I want you to do that direction 3 to 6 more times. Okay, so for me, actually, it recently switched. It's usually when I go to my right, that's harder. So I'm going to do an extra few repetitions in that direction. Yeah, good. Nice work, everybody. I love it. Okay. Okay, and then when you've done those 3 to 5 or so, go ahead and come back to a seated or standing grounding position. Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna do some coordination here. Okay, so bringing the famous figure 8 into it. Yeah, so you can keep your arm you can keep your arm bent. So my elbow is bent right now, and I'm drawing a horizontal figure 8, also known as an infinity sign, with my left hand. Okay, so just come into that rhythm, get that rhythm. Okay, and with the other hand, can I draw a vertical figure 8? It's okay. My right hand is moving much slower than my left. Yeah, so one hand is drawing a horizontal figure 8. One hand is drawing a vertical figure 8. Oh, shoot. Uh-huh. It's okay, you're good. You can go. Okay, and then can you switch directions with your hands? So do one at a time. So maybe pause on one hand, switch directions with whichever hand you want, whichever feels easier for you. Oh wait, it's this way. Okay, and then add in the second hand. Oh my goodness. This way is going to feel harder, and that's how it's supposed to be. Your brain is always going to take the path of least resistance when it comes to coordination. So the second time you do this work is always going to be harder. I am messing up a lot. Uh-huh. Okay, good, and relaxed. Good, shake that out. Yeah. Let's find a more simple pattern. So just bringing the arms into a backstroke. For my standing athletes, by the way, and I forgot to mention this, but that's one you can also do with your legs. If you're in a seated position, you could do ankle circles with one foot doing a vertical and one foot doing a horizontal. Sorry, we're doing backstroke. Okay. Good, and then doing freestyle, going forward. Let your spine rotate with you, just let it flow. Good, and then we're gonna give ourselves a big hug. I want you to try to reach your hands as far around your body as you can. Excuse me, turn and rotate to your left. Look over your left shoulder and just hold that there. What's the farthest thing to the left that you can see on the wall behind you? Really see with just your eyes, how far can your eyes go? Hold it, hold it, hold it. Can you reach a little further, whether that's a rotation from your spine or a reach from your eyes? Good, come back to the center. Okay, yeah, recalibrate. That one usually throws my eyes off a little bit. Slowly rotate to the right. Then turn your head to the right. And then push your eyes as far to the right as you can. Hold it. Can you go a little bit more with your head, your spine, or your eyes? Can you see something further on the wall? Hold it. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe. And then back to the center and relax. Good. Shake the arms out. Go ahead and just take one more heavy roll down to the ground. You can close your eyes if that feels better for you. And then roll yourself back up and to the top. We'll close the eyes. Let's bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Trying to direct that breath into your low belly hand. This is what we call diaphragmatic breathing. Just feeling your body grounded either on the chair or on the floor. Knowing that this kind of belly breathing is an automatic switch for our nervous system that tells the nervous system to relax. We don't have to fight, we don't have to flight, we don't have to freeze, we can just relax. So if you're feeling stressed out now or in the future, this is always a really good thing to come back to, just a simple belly breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Go ahead and think of one thing you're grateful for today. And on your next exhale, we'll open the eyes. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for joining today, everybody. Happy Thursday. Just want to give just a couple announcements before I take questions and have people unmute themselves. And then my mind goes blank. Yes, a big shout out to Move United for continuing to sponsor these classes. They have been incredibly helpful and super supportive with that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you feel like making a donation to BORP, we are super grateful for any and all donations. Sarah Dawn will post that link down into the chat box, so feel free to check that out.